If you're trying to figure out the best HVAC apps for your business in 2026, this video is going to break it down in a practical way, because not every app belongs in the same category. We're going to look at FieldCamp, Jobber, Housecall Pro, ServiceTitan, BluON, MeasureQuick, CompanyCam, QuickBooks, Fleetio, and a few supporting apps that actually matter when you're running calls, sending texts, collecting payment, and in trying not to lose job details in a group chat. And to keep this useful, I'm going to split this decision into 4 buckets. First, the business management app, then the technician apps, then the documentation and back office apps, then pricing and what I would actually install if I was building an HVAC stack from scratch. So let's start with the business management app, because this is the one that either cleans up your whole operation or becomes another tab nobody opens. For an HVAC business, this app has to handle scheduling, dispatching, estimates, invoices, payments, customer history, equipment records, and service plans. If it cannot tell you what condenser is at the property, what you did last time, and who should go next, it is not really enough for HVAC. Jobber is still one of the easier started apps in this category. If you're a solo HVAC tech or you have a small crew and you're moving off paper, Jobber makes scheduling, quotes, invoices, payments, reminder, and client communication feel simple. For starter simplicity, Jobber wins. Housecall Pro is the next step if customer experience and marketing matter more. You get online booking, estimates, invoices, reminder, review management, flat rate pricing on higher tiers, customer equipment tracking, and a strong mobile workflow. If your HVAC shop is residential, review-driven, and you care about looking polished, Housecall Pro is a strong pick. For customer-facing workflow, Housecall Pro wins. ServiceTitan is the enterprise pick. If you have a big HVAC operation with a dispatch desk, call booking, price book, memberships, reporting, and a real back office, ServiceTitan is built for that world. But for a smaller HVAC business, honestly, it can be too much software and too much cost before you need it. For enterprise HVAC, ServiceTitan wins. FieldCamp is the one I would look at if you want the whole HVAC operating system to be built around AI and equipment records. The reason FieldCamp matters is that it connects the work, intake, property, unit, equipment, estimate, dispatch, invoice, and a follow-up. So if I know cool call comes in, the system is not just creating a generic job. It can match the property, see the unit, understand the tech skill, and help get the right person assigned. For modern, mid-market, and enterprise HVAC operations, FieldCamp wins the business management category. Now let's talk about the apps that your techs actually want on the phone. BluON is one of the first HVAC apps I would give a technician because it's useful in the field, not just in the office. PT charts, refrigerant data, diagnostics, model lookup, and a technical support are the kind of things that save time when you're standing next to a unit and do not want to guess. For free technician reference, BluON wins. MeasureQuick is different. MeasureQuick is stronger when your shop uses Bluetooth probes and wants better diagnostics, reports, and system performance checks. If your techs are already using Fieldpiece, Testo, or similar tools, MeasureQuick can make the diagnostic process cleaner and more consistent. For connected diagnostics, MeasureQuick wins. Then you have the documentation apps. CompanyCam is useful because HVAC works needs proof. Photos of the failed capacitor, the cracked heat exchanger, the old filter, the serial plate, the attic access, the install before and after. That protects the business, helps the customer understand the work, and gives your office better records. For photo documentation, CompanyCam wins. QuickBooks is exciting, but is still the accounting backbone for a lot of HVAC companies. The real question is not whether QuickBooks is good. The question is whether your HVAC app syncs invoices, payments, and customers cleanly, so nobody's doing double entry at 9 p.m. For accounting, QuickBooks still wins, but only if your field software connects well. Fleetio is more of a fleet app than an HVAC app. Fleetio is more of a fleet app than an HVAC app. But once you have enough trucks, it starts to matter. Vehicle inspection, maintenance, fuel, repairs, and asset history become real money. If you have 2 trucks, you may not need it. If you have 15, you probably do. For fleet management, Fleetio wins. But now let's talk about pricing, because this is where a lot of HVAC owners make the wrong decision. Jobber's public prices starts with Core are $49 month to month, or $29 a month billed annually for one user, and it scales up as you add users and features. Housecall Pro starts at $59 a month, billed annually for basic, or $79 month to month, then Essentials and Max go higher as you add team size and tools. FieldCamp's current public pricing starts with Pro at $249 a month for 3 users, Growth at $699 for 10 users, Scale at $1499 for 20 users, and Enterprise at $2,000 plus, with annual discounts available. ServiceTitan is request pricing and usually makes more sense once you're a larger operation. So here's my verdict. If you're a solo or very small HVAC business and you need one easy app, pick Jobber. If your business is residential and you care about communication, review, a polished service experience, pick Housecall Pro. If you're a large HVAC shop with a big office and a serious reporting need, ServiceTitan is a safe enterprise pick. But if you're building a modern HVAC stack in 2026 and you want the actual operation connected from lead to dispatch to invoice, FieldCamp is the one I would look at first. Then I would add BluON for free field reference, MeasureQuick if your techs are using connected tools, CompanyCam if photo proof matters, QuickBooks for accounting, and Fleetio once the trucks become their own problem. So overall, FieldCamp wins the operating system category, Jobber wins starter simplicity, Housecall Pro wins customer experience, and BluON wins free HVAC tab app. While MeasureQuick wins diagnostics, CompanyCam wins documentation. That's the honest stack for 2026. Be safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.